the No Fade channel, checking in. On this episode of Dad's Home Gym, I'm gonna be giving you my favorite exercises to add mass to your arms, specifically tricep edition, because your tricep makes up 60% of your arms. If this is your first time to the channel, give this video a like, hit that red subscribe button. On this series, I typically review home gym equipment, but every once in a while, I like to take a break and just go over some great exercise ideas, tricks, tips that I've found useful to hopefully give you ideas to take on in your home gym or at your local gym. Before I give you my top 3 mass building arm exercises for your triceps, I want to know from you. Comment below, what's your go-to tricep exercise? I also want to do a super quick review of Alpha Line's Superhuman Extreme pre-workout in their GrapeZilla formula. I will tell you straight away, all the footage you see in today's video is going to be me rocking this pre-workout because it delivers crazy high energy. I mean like 4-hour high energy and really good pumps. I'm a big fan of alphalion.com. I'll want to link this one in the description, but I'll put the whole ingredients panel up here. I did a whole review. That link will be in the description today if you want to kind of get into the weeds of this one. But that GrapeZilla flavor comes in with that tart grape front end and a hint of bubblegum finish at the end. Definitely gives your taste buds a little bit of a fun twist if you're looking for a solid tasting high stim I can't say high stim enough. This thing is super high stim and it is not for the faint of heart. It is not for the beginner, but it absolutely delivers. You came here to learn about adding massive amounts of mass to your triceps to make them look like bulging horseshoes, and I'm going to aim to deliver. So my number 1 exercise by far for adding mass to these arms is going to be a close grip bench press. Now I'm going to explain how to do it. I'm going to explain why most people do it incorrectly, and I'm going to give you a few alternative ways to do it if you are in a home gym environment. Number 1, a close grip bench press is exactly what it sounds like. You take your normal bench press grip, you bring your hands in closer. Where people make a big mistake is they put their hands super close together. That unfortunately does not activate much more of your triceps and it just leads to jacking up your wrist. Don't do it. No. The other mistake people make is when they come down, rather than having a normal arrow type of elbow position with your arms, right? You want to have your arms in an arrow type position, not a T, an arrow. What people think is they want to keep their elbows and arms close to their body, almost like a Tyrannosaurus Rex, right? They think that's going to activate more of their tricep. Unfortunately, that's going to jack up your rotator cuff and it's also going to screw up your elbows. So for review, you want to keep your grip narrower than shoulder width and you want to bring your elbows back in the same exact bench press position you would to keep those rotator cuffs healthy and to keep your muscles activated. This is a great exercise because it creates a longer range of motion for your chest and for your triceps, and it just hits your triceps and you're able to add quite amount of weight on this exercise. Here's where people's egos though take over. They think that they need to add a ton of weight, a crazy amount of weight, and unfortunately that gets them hurt and it ends up that they're not actually targeting their triceps, they're targeting their ego. So you are able to add a lot of weight to this exercise, but you want to be respectful of keeping that form good and you want to keep the rep range where it should be between that 5 and 10 marker to kind of create as much growth as possible, because you're trying to grow size, you're not trying to grow that ego. Now, a couple alternate ways to do this exercise if you're in a home gym environment or you just want to change it up a little bit, you can use what's known as a football bar, an auxiliary bar. I see it right here, and this allows you to take your hand position and just simply turn it inside, and that allows you to hit a bit more triceps and it takes a lot of stress off the shoulder. And because of this dip on this bar, you're able to actually bring the bar down, your hands below the top of your chest, to really get a lot of tricep activation. Another thing you can use, if you would like, you can use an easy curl bar. You can just simply use an easy curl bar, take that inside grip and just do essentially the same motion, same exact motion, just a different bar. And that is nice because it is self-spotting. Typically with that bar, you can end up just basically spotting yourself. And if in a pinch, if you can't get it up on that last rep, you can just kind of roll it forward and you should be right as rain. And the second exercise to add massive mounds of mass to 60% of your arm. That's right, your tricep is going to be the tricep pushdown. So many of you are familiar with this exercise and so many of you are doing it wrong. I'm going to tell you how to do it right, and I'm also going to explain some alternatives if you're in a home gym environment and don't have access to a functional trainer. Tricep pushdown, we all know you take the weight, you push it down, you hit your triceps. Great. Unfortunately, what a lot of people do is that they don't just push the weight down, they roll their shoulders to get a mechanical advantage, and that puts a lot of work on the front of your deltoid, which can handle a lot of work, but it's not working out your tricep, and that is an ego issue. Again, people are working out their egos and not their triceps. So when you do this exercise, you do want to keep your elbows close to the body, and you do want to push that weight down with your tricep. You want to be cognizant of keeping your head up, keeping your chest up. That's going to try to take as much of your shoulders out of the exercise as possible. You also want to keep those abs tight. And again, focus on the tricep when you do this exercise. A lot of people will just pin it out. They'll add a ton of weight, way more than they can handle. They get one of their bros to spot them, and they're just kind of putting their body weight into it, and they're putting their front shoulders into it, and they're not wondering why their triceps aren't getting any bigger. Lo and behold, they're just working their ego. Again, work the muscle, don't work the ego. It helps grow the muscle, and it helps prevent injury as well. Now, if you are at home and you don't have access to a functional trainer, 2 exercises that you absolutely can do that will hit the same exact range of motion, same exact angle on your triceps is going to be, number 1, I call it a French press. Most people will call them skull crushers. You can do that with a barbell, which works very well. If you have an easy bar, you can do skull crushers that way. And again, you're working that tricep in the same motion. And I would say the arguments are the same. Keep your elbows in. Don't work your ego. Don't swing. Control the weight. And one of the other ways to do these skull crushers, and again, I call them French presses, and I think this is the better way, is with dumbbells. One of the great things about using dumbbells is it's harder to do. You can't go as heavy as you think, and you're able to squeeze the muscle a little bit more. You're getting a little bit more concentration on your tricep because you've got a dumbbell in each hand and you have to stabilize. Also, I happen to find that it's easier to spot yourself if you're training alone with those dumbbells because you can tuck those in and kind of get them out of your way a lot easier. And the third way to grow your triceps, the exercise that I have found to be extremely beneficial and often overlooked, and many of you have heard of it, and a lot of you are frankly sick of it, especially after the 2020 pandemic, is going to be weighted push-ups. I happen to find that even though that exercise seems like a bench press exercise, it hits the triceps differently. How do I do weighted push-ups? A couple of ways. I simply put on a weighted vest. I'm a big fan of weighted vests, and I go to town and I use this perfect push-up. Now, many of you don't have a perfect push-up, but the point of this is it helps keep my wrist in a locked position, so it takes a lot of the stress off my wrist, puts it in my tricep where it belongs. It also allows me to get deeper on the exercise. And again, the deeper you get as you come out of that bottom of the push-up, you're hitting like all tricep, and it is a wonderful thing. Now, if you don't have a weighted vest, you can get one of your buddies to put a couple plates on your back if you'd like. That tends to be a bit more of a nuisance. One way that I found to add weight to a push-up that has been quite easy is to get an exercise band, which I'm sure after 2020, many of you have kicking around. You get a band and you just put it over your back, and you're able to add resistance on the top end of your push-up. Now, adding that resistance at the top end tends to be more geared towards sports because you're getting a lot more explosiveness because of the band situation versus the weight. But in a pinch, it will work and you will feel it on your triceps. What should your grip position should it be? You're going to do the close grip push-up exactly like you would with the bench press. You take your normal push-up position, you bring your hands in narrower than your shoulder width, and you're going to keep your elbows in the same position you would with the bench press, trying to create that arrow type formation with your body. And even though it's going to seem exactly like your close grip bench press, I'm telling you, it just hits different. Let me know in the comments below if I missed any serious mass building exercises. I'm always curious on new ones to try out and to take on. If you came this far in the video, check out alphalion.com's Superhuman Extreme Pre-Workout if you can find it. It is a limited edition flavor. This thing is absolutely super strong, so if you're not used to pre-workouts, shy away from this one. I'll put all the links in the description of the video if you are interested. If you came this far in the video, thank you for making it to the end of the video. You're a champion. Give this video a like, hit that red subscribe button. As usual, thanks for watching, and don't save anything for the trip back. This channel is dedicated to my life as a father of 2 wonderful children, and it centers around health, fitness, and all of the tricks and tribulations that I go through to try to be a great parent to my children and still accomplish my own personal goals.